I would like to provide a brief commentary slash reaction, as well as give my own reasons as to why the Democrats lost this recent election in Virginia for the governor, and what I think about the conversations surrounding this entire situation. So, first and foremost, I want to go over what people in the media and Democratic politicians are telling you about what they think are the reasons that they lost. I'll just go over several. The reasons that the Democrats lost, was it because of white women? No. Was it because of bigotry? No. Was it because of Bernie Sanders? No. Was it because of Donald Trump? No. Was it because of racism? No. If I were to try to explain to a Democratic politician, a media pundit that considers himself a quote unquote centrist or a Democrat, well, if I were to try to explain to them as to why the Democrats lost, I would do the following. I would grab a mirror, I would hand it to them, and I would say, look into that. And you'll find the reasons as to why you lost that election. You see, what we're experiencing right now, and what yesterday's election, this is being recorded the day after, was a representation of, it was a representation of a political party that has lost its way. A political party that has lost its way, a political party that doesn't have an identity, a political party that doesn't know what to do with itself, a political party that doesn't have a message, a political party that isn't offering anything, a political party that doesn't know what the people want and need, a political party that's so out of touch that they took what was already an inadequate infrastructure proposal supposedly to fundamentally change the economy. They whittled it down till it was nothing but crumbs, then came out to those same people that they promised those many things to and said, hey, this is the best we can do. I hope you're happy. Needless to say, the people aren't. This is absolutely amazing. McAuliffe, the Democratic nominee that was running up against Mr. Youngkin, who won the position of governor, spent $750,000 just to produce his TV ads. What were his ads about? Donald Trump. My opponent is Donald Trump 2.0. This sentiment was echoed by his Democratic colleagues, by the way. The Nazis, these people are like the Nazis. Donald Trump a little bit more, and that was about it. They spent so much money. The Democrats in Virginia also lost the House. The Democrats that lost their House seats outspent their Republican adversaries by so much money. But still, they lost their campaigns. They were backed by the best corporate donors one could buy, and they still lost. And here you have Democratic politicians, people in the media, now pointing the finger at, here we go now, the left. It's the left. These fucking progressives, man. It's their fault that we lost in Virginia last night. That's the reason. Biden went too far left. He should have stayed in the center where he belongs. Biden proposed a $3.5 trillion infrastructure package that had paid leave, that had free community college, that had universal pre-K, that had Medicare negotiating for lower drug prices for Americans, that had Medicare covering hearing, dental, and vision, that had, the story. And over the past couple weeks, what have we been seeing in headlines? 2 years of community college, gone. Paid medical leave, gone. Lower prescription drug prices, gone. Everything else, gone. That's going too far left? That's being too progressive? He's taking things away from the people, and they're watching it before their very eyes. And you somehow find a way to blame the left. Let me give you, this is from Polling USA, the percentages of support for just a couple of these provisions. So expanding Medicare to dental division, 78%. 12 weeks of paid family leave, 61%. First 2 years of college free, 53%. Those are strong majorities of the American people supporting those pieces of legislation. Yet, the Democrats are not pushing for them. They've taken them out of the bill. And they've essentially promised the people nothing, but they expect the people to come out and vote for them in a Virginia governor race when they've done nothing for the people. And when you realize that, it makes it easy to understand how a Republican demagogue running on critical race theory alone can somehow win. You see, when the opposition is talking about nothing but Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, white supremacy, all the rest of it, and you neglect the actual hardships and situations that people in Virginia specifically are going through, then it's easy to make the case on the grounds of the culture war. Hey, I'm going to ban critical race theory. You should vote for me. Damn jobs, damn healthcare, damn anything to do with economics or anything that actually matters. Look, I'll fucking ban a topic that isn't even taught in my state. And you can ride that path to victory when your opponent has nothing to offer but corporate influence. This is a political party that has gone so far astray from FDR in the 1930s, the New Deal, so far astray from Mr. Lyndon Johnson and all that he accomplished. The Democrats, they position themselves to be similar to the Republicans. It started most prominently with Mr. Bill Clinton, and somehow they still think that that is the way to go. But I have bad news for you. We are looking at a future of this country, and especially for this party, of evisceration. It doesn't look good. This is bound to happen in the midterms, and it's bound to happen in the next general election if they don't fix themselves. And even if they do, this can still occur because it might be too little, too late. And that could be the future that we're staring dead in the face. This isn't a new issue. This has been something that's been going on for years, which is why I'm not surprised by it. And neither should you be. We've been watching this country burn in front of our eyes for years now. It was put on grand display for most people back in 2008. And we're still dealing with the repercussions. Barack Obama came in, promised a lot of change, didn't change much. Then people voted for what they thought was change, which was Donald Trump. He came in, made people's situation worse, funneled even more money to the top. People said, okay, we can't deal with this. Let's put in Joe Biden, who isn't promising change, but at least he's not Donald Trump, and Joe Biden is failing them as well. These are problems that are occurring. This is a party that doesn't serve the people that they promised to serve, in culmination with the system that makes these problems 10 times worse. And these types of questions aren't being answered. They aren't being dealt with. The correct solutions aren't being put on the table. And we're just expected to deal with it. And of course, the Democrats expect you to vote for them anyway, even when they're not addressing the main core problems that the people in this country deal with. The $15 minimum wage was something that the fight came and went. They promised to pick it back up, never did. A majority of Virginians, mind you, support a $15 minimum wage. Look, the problems that people face in this country are all too dire to be ignored. Yet, that's exactly what the Democratic Party is doing. And that explains why nobody comes out to vote for them. The system that we have promotes the people that have the most money. It promotes the corporations. They have effectively bought both political parties. They own all the Republicans, and they own the vast majority of the Democrats. And the Democrats do this gravitas, this positioning to where they pretend to be for the people when they're really owned by corporations, and they're just terrible actors. They're terrible actors with horrible messaging. And even though the Republicans are bought and owned as well, at least they have a lane to where their tomfoolery actually works on their constituents, whereas the Democrats fail time and time again trying to do the same playbook or trying to emulate the same playbook. But we'll keep seeing these types of elections go down in the future. We'll keep seeing these types of losses be incurred by the Democrats in the future, as long as they don't change their ways and go back to the glory days of what FDR had done, what Lyndon B. Johnson has done. But I think that it's safe to say that they won't do that, because everything that we've been seeing up until now has not given us any kind of indications that they will indeed do what they need to do in order to win. And that's incredibly sad.